Good morning. I'm all on my Todd this morning because I've come out early to pick up some SD cards for today because we were so late yesterday we didn't get a chance to do any of the footage, and today's ride is probably one of the most scenic we're going to do on the whole trip, so I wanted to make sure I have plenty of SD cards for that. But I guess it also kind of gives me a chance to reflect on where we're at. You know, we're about to start day 7 of 12. We've covered 13,087, so 1,387 miles, and we have 1,315 to go. So, you know, we're a little smidge over halfway. And I guess you don't get much time to really sit and think, you know. I've hardly had time to answer messages or emails or anything like that because it's just non-stop. You know, I'm not saying this to get sympathy or anything, but when the lads are relaxed and you know, chilling at the end of the day, I've still got to make sure everything's set for the next day, go for the route planning, make sure there's no major issues reported on the roads. There's just an awful lot for me to do, like back up the footage, like sort out the GoPro cameras, make sure that all the food's organised at the evening. You know, it is just a lot of non-stop really for me. And I don't mind that, obviously, because that's what I set myself the job of doing. So I don't really get an awful lot of time to sit and reflect. So it's quite nice this morning just to kind of have that moment, particularly after yesterday when I was, you know, Tony and I were very nearly killed, basically. Just to look back, because it goes so quickly. We're on day 7 already. I said to the lads at the beginning of this, those who were doing the whole hoggers, that it was going to be tough. I think I knew how tough, but I guess what I didn't really think about was all the curveballs that would add extra toughness on top of that. You know, some of the roads we're on are incredibly tough and challenging, particularly for some of our riders who are not so experienced on a bike, like Kevin Jones and Gary Cowland, for instance, who haven't really done much travel, but the charities are so important to them that they are giving absolutely everything to be a part of this trip. And no matter what the roads have thrown at them, or what life has thrown at them, or what idiot drivers have thrown at them, they've still got smiles on their faces, you know. And that just makes me so damn proud of each and every one of them, because I do feel an enormous sense of responsibility. Fuck me. Great, I'm drinking milk, sat in an Asda car park, crying on live Facebook. My life is complete right now. Oh, I do feel an enormous sense of responsibility for each of these riders, you know. I want to make sure they're having a trip that they enjoy. And if someone isn't happy, even if one person isn't happy, I feel obliged to do all that I can to make sure that they are happy, you know. And I think that's just the person I am, but it's also the fact that they are giving so much to me. And it's not just the whole hoggers, it's, you know, the day trippers as well that join us, because they don't know what they're letting themselves in for, you know, what we've gone through and what we've covered. Every single person that has made this happen is just such a beautiful person, to be honest with you, you know. And as I said to the lads, no matter what stress we get involved in, like yesterday, where we had the choice of either a 9-hour diversion or to sit in traffic for 2 hours and wait for a ferry. Yes, it's stressful. I'm there thinking, oh, these guys are going to hate me because I've ruined their Loch Ness experience. I've ruined one of their days on the trip, because that's where my head goes. That's where my demons go. My demons go, look, you failed them. You know, you've got them all the way up here, and look what you've done. You've absolutely failed them. And I have to deal with, oh, fuck off, Mark. I have to deal with that stress, and I'm really pleased to deal with it, because that's why I'm doing this trip as well. You know, mental health is such an important thing, and we only really sort of talk about the tip of the iceberg, not the stuff that goes on underneath, you know. But I know every single rider on this trip has developed. And I know that sounds so melodramatic and flight of fancy and all that jazz, but they have, you know, because we've been through stuff together and we've supported each other. We were a bunch of strangers 6 days ago. We didn't know each other, and now we are looking out for each other on the road. When a rider goes down, everyone's off their bikes to help them up, make sure they're okay. Henry, God bless the dude. I don't know where we'd be without him. Anything that's wrong with the bikes, he fixed a bloody brake pedal with a coat hanger, for God's sake. He's like a one-man A-team. And I guess that's the fact that I'm so proud of all of these boys and so proud of everyone that's involved, and of Kirsty as well. And yes, I'm saying boys, but I do mean absolutely everyone on the trip. You know, boys is an old-fashioned term, and I apologise, I should say riders, because we've got some incredible female riders that have gone through exactly the same, so I'll make sure I'm saying riders now. But Kirsty as well in the car had a very scary time yesterday because somebody basically forced her off the road. So we've all got experiences, but what I said to the team is that as stressful as it is and as scary as it is, we've got memories now, we've got stories, you know. We'll be talking about this trip, well, me probably for most of my life. Toon and I will be rocking in our chairs when we're 90 going, do you remember that time when we almost got wiped out by a not job driver in Glencorn, Scotland? You know, this is where life is made, you know, sitting at home on your sofa, watching Netflix, going to work every day, not taking any risks, being safe and secure, distracting yourself with financial gain and possessions and all that stuff. You know, it takes us away from what life truly is. And life can be a beautiful thing, and it can be a beautiful adventure if you trust yourself enough, if you give yourself enough. Because it isn't a spectator sport, you know. If you spend your life sitting on the substitute bench complaining that no one gives you the chance to play, well, then you need to ask yourself, are you actually trying to play? Are you actually trying to get involved in the game? And if you can genuinely answer yes to that question, then there are other things to explore. But I think in most cases, particularly mine, for 20 odd years, I was too scared to play the game. Yet I still blamed everybody else for not letting me play the game. And it was only in that moment where I realised that it was myself holding me back that I started taking some risks. And I think I've said this before, and it's a weird thing to say, but suicide has always been my best friend. When I was in Brighton on my second suicide attempt, and I had this moment of realisation that I couldn't really kill myself when I hadn't even tried living yet. All the issues of my past, all the people that had hurt me, despite the fact they'd gone, I was still allowing them to hurt me by carrying on their thoughts of me and their actions. I was allowing that to carry on. That was me, not them, because they'd gone. So I kind of made a decision then and there that I would try and do something for myself. I would try and do something for myself, you know, and if it failed, well, what's the harm? I'll just kill myself then. But when I let go of those inhibitions, of those demons, and those stupid thoughts, I just began to see that beautiful things can happen. And in all those horrible moments, all those painful moments are where memories are made, are where stories are made, and is where life is found. And you've got to take risks. And I am so honoured and blessed to be sharing this journey with such incredible people, because that is the blessing here, is that they are all awesome people. There's not a single one amongst them that I wish wasn't there. And I've had the greatest time. And I just hope and pray that I've done enough to make their journey a good one, that they're not going to finish the day and curse me or you know, hate me for it or anything like that, you know. So oh Jesus, yeah, emotional, drinking milk in a car park, take a risk. I'm gonna have a drink. Oh yeah, hello rockers. Fuck me, probably for my language here. Right, yeah, let's move on from that, shall we? Today is going to be one of the most scenic rides ever. You know, I spoke a minute ago about how messed up my life was. Scotland saved my life. So this will be quite an emotional day for me, which is why I'm all over the place, probably. I found work in a hotel in Torridon in West Ross. And as soon as I arrived and I saw those mountains, I just felt something, you know. I'm not Scottish, I've got no Scottish ancestry, I wasn't born here. But you know when you get that feeling that you just belong somewhere. And I belong here. You know, I will eventually retire here, Kirsty. I'm hoping you're going to come with me. I just like the thought of spending the last years I have on this earth, roaming around the hills, little quaint village pubs, ceilidhs, just living life away from all the mess of society and cities. Fresh air, beautiful scenery, that's what I want. But Scotland saved my life Moss saved my life yesterday, and Dan Bennett, who did the mechanics on the bike, saved my life yesterday. But you know, I'm in Scotland again, and I almost died. So the last time I was here, I almost died because I fell off a mountain and cracked my head open. But despite that, I still love Scotland. So riding through today, the start really of the NC 500, going up Blacknabar into Applecross, and then right around the coast, and then eventually going back into Torridon, will be a very special moment for me to be back there, because that's where my life started to turn around, and things got a hell of a lot better for me. So I'm looking forward to that, and it's also just one of the most scenic rides, and I know the team are absolutely going to love it. So yeah, I booked us, because we stayed in a youth hostel last night, so I booked us into the Albatross Cafe in Loch Carron. The dude is awesome there. They're opening just for us, very accommodating. They've even posted in the village, these guys are coming through, come and say hello. So we'll see what happens when we get there. But we're going to stop there, have some breakfast, have a coffee, and then we're going to take on the jewel in the crown of the NC 500, which is the Blacknabar Applecross Pass. It's an iconic road that's been used in Top Gear countless times, car commercials. It's just a road that is on, you know, should be on everyone's bucket list. So that's what we're going to do today. We're hoping to have an amazing day, and just continue this epic journey. So yeah, 1,387 miles down, 1,315 to go. For everyone watching out there, thank you so much for your support. Thank you for putting up with me being all emotional on here. I only started these Facebook Live videos to warn people that we were delayed on day one, but people seem to like these so much that I've decided to continue doing them. So thank you for watching, and thank you for supporting. I'll keep this going for the next, what we got, 7, 8, I can't count now, I'm that dead. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 5 days to go. Yeah. Rock on, brothers and sisters.